Hi guys, before we get started, I'd just like to remind you that if you liked this video, please thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, thumbs down. Feel free to subscribe. There's a notification button somewhere as well. You got to click. So click the red subscribe and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is a continuation of the one game a month video that I've been working on. So I hope you enjoy this one. I've no idea what's happening in this video because this is just a default bumper. But all will be revealed after the fade.
All right, I'm not streaming this. I am just. I decided that I was going to do a video just on the spur of the moment. Everyone's out the house, and it's one game a month, so I figure I'll take some time and I'll record me making this game. Um, so I got a comment. I posted up my first video about this, and I got a comment about it. Uh, uh, Sorry, I can't remember who commented on it, but it's the first video anyway. It's like the number one comment. Let me see if I can find it. And You're totally right. I am actually just making this game. Sorry, just give me 2 seconds. I'll find the comment because it's nice to give names to faces, names to um, comments and things. So if I go to here, community, yeah, it's Roy Meredith. And he commented that it was very similar to, or it looked, or his comment makes it sound like he thinks it's similar to Ghosts and Goblins. And yeah, it totally looks like Ghosts and Goblins. Um, um, I mean, it's a platform game, and uh, you pick up weapons and armor and stuff. The idea is you pick up armor and you fight the zombies, and then you die. So yeah, I guess you could think of it as being a zombie game or a ghost and ghouls type game. But what I was thinking was, seeing as how that I was going for that, I wanted to sort of teach players that they have to climb to get to good things, and it's one of those sort of game design things that you gotta like make people want to climb. So what I'm going to do is just build a test level for that just now because I want to be able to sort of um, see how I'd construct that. Now, what I want to do is grab the tile palette first of all, and the tile palette is forest. So I have this tile palette here, and I'll just dock it in here so we can see this tile palette. And you can see that I have a mid ground and I have a platform ground. I'm also going to add another tile grid here, and this is going to be another tile map. And this tile map is going to be called Leap Plat Jump Through Platforms. And it's going to have this one here has a tile map renderer, and the platforms itself has a tile map collider 2D. So I'm going to add a tile map collider 2D, but I'm also going to add an effector as well. And the one I want is a platform effector 2D. And it says use collider mask, and it's going to be one way. And the only thing you need to do in Unity is set off this use by effector here, boop, like that. And of course, there's nothing in this level just now, so we'll start to add things in this level. But first of all, the platforms level, I need to get rid of this stuff in here. So I'm going to go grab a paintbrush and do that. And then I'm going to grab this one here, put random things in. I guess that's all the same there. And then the mid ground, it doesn't have any, there's no um, there's nothing on there that uh, you can sort of drop through. So I'm going to put, let's make all the, how are we going to do this? Let's make all the mid-ground platforms these ones here. So I'm going to do a mid-ground platform here, and it's going to extend to here. And that means it's going to have that one there, and then this one here, and fill that in there. Oops. Fill that in there. And then I want another one that sort of sits behind it. So for that, I want to pretend that there's one behind that. So that's going to have this here, and this is going to be ever so slightly bigger. But I don't want to put this on this level, okay? I do want to fill in the rest of it. So I want to have this here. But for this top part, I want to go to jump through platforms, and then I want to add those values there. Okay, so I want to do that, and I want to do that. Now the reason why is because I want this to be solid, and I want this to be in the background, so it's like a 2D jumpy uppy type thing, if that makes any sense. And then that means that when I go to my gun chest, which is down here, so I take off the tile palette. So I grab my gun chest, I put it up here on high, which means that now the player has to jump up to get to the gun chest. So they know that they get rewarded for height. So when we play this, you can see that, oh, I shouldn't have collided there. Why you collide? Did I put that in the wrong level? I bet you put it in the wrong level. Mid-ground. What's on mid-ground? Oh dear. And all of this is platforms, isn't it? Yeah. What a maroon! Okay. I don't think there's an easy way to do this, so let's see if we can do it an easy way. Where's the tile palette? So tile palette forest, and then can I do select an area? So I want to select all of these, and I want to do cut. So I'm going to do X. No, it's not going to let me do that, is it? No, it's not going to let me do that. Why is it not going to let me do that? It's just not going to let me do it. Okay, well, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. We'll go to jump through platforms. So the trick was that we should have actually done it over here. So jump through platforms is selected there. We'll put all those there. Oh, we'll need to paint them. So we'll paint them there, and then we'll paint this one here, and we'll paint this one here. So you can see that we now have a jump through platform here. And we'll see if that's the right height for the player to jump through. And then in the platforms level, I want to click on platforms here, so that doesn't really matter selecting that. I'm going to delete all of these because I don't want them on the platform level, but I do want them in the mid-ground. The mid-ground has no collision detection on it whatsoever, but it should the player should go in front of it. Okay, so now we're on mid-ground, so we make sure we select mid-ground there, and then we draw that there, and then this here. So that should give us the sort of illusion of 3D, 3 dimensions, despite the fact we're using Unity 3D. So now run up to here, and you can see that now the player jumps through there, but they get stuck on that bit there. Why are they getting stuck on that bit? Oh, I know why, because I need to delete the other ones from here. If I go to platforms, and then I do shift and then delete those ones there. Oops. Why is that not? Oh, okay, that's why. So I've deleted all of them, but I've somehow managed to screw that up there. So jump through platforms, and we want to. Okay, so that's the jump through platforms are now working. So if I take out mid ground, okay, and take out platforms, that's good. All right, okay, so that should be us. Now, and there we go. And he's stuck. So that's obviously too far for the player to jump. So I'm going to go to jump through platforms, and then I'm going to do shift. Oh, because that's in mid ground. That's why I'm going to delete. I'm going to select mid. I'm going to select mid ground here. Delete those ones there, and then the jump through platforms. I'm going to select these guys, and then I think I can just move that selection. No. Having never used this tool, why won't it let me move that? What does it say there? Move selection with active brush. So select an area of the grid. Okay, so I want to select that area of the grid, and I want to move it. That's because I'm in here. So jump through platforms. Let's try that again. All right, here we go. That's us. And I want to delete that. What the heck? Ay, 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 ay. What a pain this is. Okay, and then we do the brush there, and then that's us. Get rid of the tile palette, and then we can select this guy and put it there. Okay. So after all that, go to text. And we jump, and we're still blocked here. Oh, yeah, it's still a bit. I think we do kind of want you to jump through. See, it doesn't let you jump through there. I think we just want them. Jump through platforms. So there's this thing here, but really, one way, use one way grouping. What does that do? Should contact disabled by one way collision behavior effect? Control collision contact. Yeah. Okay. So the problem is that all of this is treated as a separate sprite, I think, or a separate object. So I don't know. Um, I don't know how to side arc. There's a side arc. Maybe we can do that way. Like we don't. Maybe let them go through at a 45-degree angle. I don't know. I don't know what that means. This is me playing about with this without. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna let me do that. So if I run, see it stutters. It should just let me jump through. And it's hitting there. It's not good. Okay, let's side. Use side friction. Where when false no friction is used, use side bounds. Okay, let me just put that to 0, and then we'll make the surface arc just a bit bigger. Let's make it 270. That should be okay. Or maybe we need to reduce it. Maybe it makes more sense we need to reduce it. Yeah, definitely need to reduce it. So right now it's 180. So if we make that less than 180, I don't know, 135, is that good enough? Oh, it is, yeah. So that's much more fluid. And he does seem to stay on the platform as well, so that's good. So yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, he jumps right through it. Oh no, pew pew, I don't have anything. Ah. And I've got my gun. And I've got my dead zombie. Okay. Alright, so making that 100, let's make it 135. So that means that if you approach that from the side, then it's not going to clip. Whereas the assumption is that with 180, you're always going to, damn it. Should probably get a sound for that. Sorry, my wife's texting me. So what else do we want to do? We've got like 20 minutes or something to play about with this. So we've done that there. The other actually the other thing I wanted to do was double click this. No. What I wanted to do was clamp the camera to a particular box. And maybe I don't want to do that just now. Let me think. So when we get too far off here, like, should we know that's the case? I don't know. Maybe we don't need to know. Because it stops the main camera. So there's a follow camera here. And it knows the minimum position. So the minimum X position. So maybe I want to have a public rect bounds. I want to do that. And then that's going to give us an X and a Y and then a width and a height, which is okay. So but I want this to be set per level. So I don't want it to be hard coded. But I'm wondering if I can figure it out from the grid. So if I can find a grid, and then maybe inside there I can find a tile map, and then from the tile maps I can then find I could try that. Okay. Let's see where this is. So that's the camera there. And then let's do add class camera bounds. Okay. And then we're going to do wide awake var grid equals get game object. Oops. Game object dot find object of type grid. Grid is a base class reporting layer uniform with space lines and line. That's the one. So we're only going to have a grid. So if grid equals null, return, and then for tile maps equals grid dot get components in children tile map. Let's see what that's called. It is a tile map with lowercase m, and it'll be hidden someplace likely using Unity tile maps. There we go. For each our tile map in tile maps, tile map dot get bounds. There we go, get bounds, and returns the local bounds for a cell at this location. Bounds, cell bounds, local bounds. Returns the boundaries of the tile map and the local space size. Cell bounds, returns the boundaries of the tile map and cell size. Local to world. Local position. Okay. So tile map dot bounds, local bounds var bounds equals local bounds dot center is that and extents is that. This is always half the size of the bounds. Okay. So center is that. Okay, so that is going to be var max bounds equals bounds dot oh, okay, that's perfect. Okay, float x, float y, float that would be min x, min y, max x, float max y. So minimum x is going to be float max value and float max value, float dot min value, float dot min value, because it's going to be the opposite of what it's going to be. So then we're going to say if bounds dot min dot x is less than min x equals bounds dot min dot x. If bounds dot min dot y is less than min y, and so on. Y. X, F, this is the glamour and glitz of game development. XY equals bounds dot max y. Okay, and then we'll do print min equals, it's going to be min x plus min x plus min y plus max equals plus min max x plus max y. Okay, so camera bounds and then wet. Fine. It's that control key. My control key in this keyboard is not good. The amount of times I control C something and then control V and it puts V. And then for the main camera, I want to add camera bounds, and then we'll see what we get. Okay, so the min is -8, -5, and the max is 52.5. Okay, so that's probably about right, actually. So if I highlight that there, that platform there is probably -8. That sounds about right, actually. So that's okay. So if we assume that -8 is our sort of starting position, and our bounds is -5, which seems about right as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that sounds about right. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that sounds about right as well. Okay, so 8 and 5. So 0. So we're adding 8 to that. Okay. This is going to be, because I kept the math simple, like all of these is a unit, then for me that means that we have 16 here. We should have 16 here. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, which is right. And then we should have 10, sort of. So we get 2, 4, 6, 8, and then that would be 10 there. So because I kept the math simple, I think this is going to be a boon to us. So -8 is our 0 point. So what I'm going to do is var follow cam equals get component follow camera follow cam dot bounds equals new rect, and then it's going to be min x plus 8 comma, and then it's going to be min y plus 5. No, plus 5. And then they want the width, which is min x plus 8 plus max x. Plus 8. Comma, and then the height is gonna be I don't really care about the max height, but it's going to be max y times 2. So I'll just leave that print in there. Check my text again that just came in. It's all happening. It's all happening. Main camera. And so our bounds is 0, 0, then 52 width, and then height of that. So that would be, actually, we want to do max x minus 8, don't we? Because we've got to come back in 8 pixels. So our follow target camera there, let's get rid of that one there, and we'll have, we'll keep that in inspector. Actually, I was going to remove it from inspector, but let's keep it in there. So we're going to say transform position is less than bounds dot left, else if transform dot position dot x is greater than bounds dot right. We'll do that. Use x max. Even better. That'll be x min then. Sweet. Okay, so in theory now, we don't have to do anything to keep the camera in bounds. And we don't have to do anything to keep the camera in bounds, and we should be good to go. So I think that's good for one night. So right now the camera, we move the camera over to here. Actually, do you know what? We should probably have that as a jump upable one as well, because you should be able to walk in front of these. I don't like the fact that you suddenly come to a stop. See how this one, you're allowed to go by it. So we're gonna have to, I'm gonna have to think about plan the levels out, so to speak. So if we go back here, you can see that the camera is now stopped on that position there, so that's good. So let's go and we'll grab our gun. We'll kill the zombie. Kill the zombie, and then we'll keep going, and then the camera stops, which is perfect. That's exactly what it should do. Of course, I've fallen off the edge of the world there, but let's see if the camera stopped where it should have stopped. Not a gun. Okay, so that is where we think it should have stopped. So let's go to scene. And the camera has stopped right there. That is exactly where it should have stopped, which is on the edge. So that's perfect. That is exactly where I wanted it to stop. Just like it would do in Mario, you would have the freedom then to move back the way. That's awesome. Okay. Oh, that's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Sweet. Okay. Let me just get rid of this one here. All right, I will upload these changes to GitHub. If you're watching these videos from the start, then I haven't branched anything off, so I apologize, but they are just it's just the raw master of this code. I don't have any branches saying, this one's video one or whatever. So I apologize for that, but it's a game jam. All I'm doing is I'm just making the game up as I go along, basically. But I hope you've been enjoying the videos, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.